The aim of the game is to find out whether the story is actually a murder or if it's just a myth.
Now, let's get started.
Woohoo! Hi, my name is Louise.
And hi, I'm Emma.
And you're listening to Murder or Myth,
the true crime podcast where not everything is true.
The aim of the game is to find out whether the story is actually a murder or... Why are you turning your head away?
Because I don't want you to see me laughing.
Okay. I'm a little bit... Okay. Hi, my name is Louise.
And hi, I'm Emma.
And you're listening to Murder or Myth,
the true crime podcast where not everything is true.
The aim of the game is to find out whether the story is actually a murder or if it's just a myth.
Now, let's get started.
Okay, so this is episode 25. Can you believe it? Because next week we're going to be at 6 months of recording.
We are at like a quarter of a century of records.
So true, actually.
That's so many.
That's a fact. So for episode 25, I'm so excited. We should do something for 6 months. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
For episode 25, I'm going to be telling Emma the story of Doug Charlson, a 72-year-old man living in Haldraig, Nebraska, who sadly passed away. I'm not entirely sure if this counts as murder, but we're going to go with it.
Okay. Intrigued.
Doug died on July 7, 2008 after an aggressive and vicious attack by one of his pets.
Oh no.
It's pet murder. So Doug and his wife were raising a variety of animals on their farm. Mostly traditional farm animals like hens, cattle, pigs, as well as like pet animals like cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. However, they also owned a less traditional animal, a deer.
A deer?
Named Byron. Yes. So Byron was a young sambar deer that they had captured as a fawn while hunting. However, decided to raise the deer as a pet and kept it in a pen. Now, at this time, in the state of Nebraska, and still to this day, Nebraska prohibits deer from being kept as pets as long as they were captured after 1986. However, since deer can't live longer than 20 years, this is a de facto ban on owning deer.
Okay.
However, they became enamored with Byron and decided to keep the deer as a pet rather than kill it for meat.
And I feel like if you're hunting, though, in the first place, you're going to kill everything. So
You
why
would
would you
think.
capture it and let it
It's
live?
just a cute little deer.
Also, okay. So they were like... And you cannot capture deer in, like, nice ways. Don't you have to, like, hurt them?
Yeah, probably.
snap
But I guess
their
you wouldn't
leg?
have to kill it.
But if you snap its leg, it's rendered
Yeah.
useless. Okay,
Fair
continue.
Okay. One day, while entering the pen to refill its food, the 600-pound deer viciously attacked Doug. Okay, the deer left Charlson with severe skull and brain trauma, several fractures, as well as extreme internal and external bleeding. When emergency services arrived at the scene, they shot the deer in order to gain access to Doug. However, it was unfortunately too late and Doug was pronounced dead at the scene. The deer died and was removed into the possession of forensics for examining. So, when asked in questioning after, Doug's wife stated her and her husband were aware it was illegal to keep deer. However, they had become, like, too attached to the animal and didn't want to part with it.
So was it like a stag? Like a...
Yeah, it was a sambar deer. They're quite large.
Are
What's
they
a
the
stag?
ones with sharp
They have,
teeth?
like...
Stag is antlers, I think.
Yeah, they have antlers.
Okay, cool.
She was fined and imprisoned. Oh yeah, so she regretted it deeply after the fact. She was fined and imprisoned for 4 months, but she was released after 2, and shortly afterwards sold the farm for $613,700, almost $50,000 lower than the asking price. And that's the end of my story. It's very short because there was not much information, but that is her.
Hey, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I suppose I'm finding this with, like, all our other stories. Why would you come up with someone who kept a deer at their house and then it killed them and the specific amount the farm sold for? Like, it's a very specific...
Something funny. After, like, researching this in Starbucks, when I saw that cat come at me tonight, I was like, this is the end. I'm meant to be killed by this vicious dog, but it was honestly just a little cat running away.
Yeah, so just for reference for everyone at home, we got out of the car ready to record and a cat sprinted for its life past the
It
car.
was absolutely fucking racing
the dark.
down the street. Okay,
But,
what are your thoughts on my story?
my thoughts are like, it's so niche and so detailed. The details that are in it, it's very detailed. I'm like, do deer attack? Why would these people keep a pet? It's so illogical that I want to go for murder. And I don't know, would you add in the fact that there was not many details if you wrote it, but then you could just be throwing me off?
I love to throw you off.
But I did love the story. It was very interesting. A little bit of like animals thrown
They're a little
in there.
different.
We don't usually work with
There's
that.
too many humans killing, honestly.
Yeah, not good enough.
Agreed.
Oh, it's a tough one,
It
but
is different.
I'm gonna say murder.
Murder?
Yeah.
It's a myth.
It's a myth?
Yeah.
Congrats, very good job.
Thank you.
That was kind of a fun one.
That was a little bit of a fun one.
Yeah. It's not all bad. Sometimes it's people doing the wrong thing and then
But
the
this
animal
is
kills them.
based on a similar story about people holding illegal animals.
I've heard a
And
lot about
then
monkeys. I thought you were going to say something
Monkeys.
about
It was
monkeys.
kind of inspired by monkeys.
Okay, so much things there.
It was really... I don't know why I just said that. It wasn't inspired by monkeys. It was along the lines, though, of an illegal animal being held against its will.
The podcast makes us say crazy things sometimes.
It literally does. I was just like, gotta get that content out there.
Gotta clickbait everyone into thinking it was about monkeys. Wow.
I'm so glad you guessed my murder.
I know, I was like, it was very specific, and I was like, ooh, the law about Nebraska, she had to look that up, and why would you find that out? Why would you think about the law that deer can't be held
and
in?
I nearly went back in this so many times. I was like, this is going to be like 4 sentences long. I'm going to be like, Doug was killed. Like, there's nothing. But I was like, Joel, I'll just add a bit of detail to it.
Yeah, that's so smart.
Why not?
Short and sweet.
Me and Emma have some exciting news.
Oh, do we?
There's going to be a Halloween special
Halloween special.
out next week. So everybody stay tuned for that.
And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be interactive. We're going to have so many elements to
Maybe
it.
won't be interactive, but let's make promises we can't keep.
Shout out to you regular listeners.
And I think that's the end of this episode. So thanks for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Join us next week for another thrilling adventure.
Find us on all streaming platforms.
On this week's episode, Louise's story was in fact a myth, and I guessed wrong.
Remember, it's myth until proven murder.
Slay.
Slay.
We need to get
Slay.
Sorry, I got my lines wrong order. A moment.
Whew, that was a lot.
That was a lot. Thanks for jump scaring me at the end there. With the unknown surprise.
I said we'd record. I said earlier we would record it and then we can decide whether or not we want to keep it in tomorrow.
Okay. I didn't get that.
Okay, clearly you didn't listen to me at all.
No. Okay.
Was that episode very short? Was it okay?
I think we stretched it out to about 8.5 minutes. I'm still
Sound.
talking. It's still recording.
Oh, Jesus.
Why won't it stop?